Okay, so in this example, we're looking at pound Aussie. All right, so we're on the 4-hour charts on the pound Aussie, and what we're doing is if we can just assume that the daily charts is on an uptrend, and what we're looking at is, let's say, something like this as a buyer's territory, and the guy who started it somewhere down here. Okay, if you do not know why I'm drawing it like that, and you're still having confusion, like why aren't you doing it like at the very last piece and stuff like that, then you need to watch over the MPA course or go over the CBC, which is the core basics course, because you still need to understand how the universe above and below works, and that's a very critical aspect. So I can go to the daily and show you that, but it's just going to be a waste of time. So I just want you to try to understand that this, if looked at from the daily, it does look like it's an upward momentum, and somewhere around here should be buyer's territory. Okay, now as being on the 4 hours, we're watching for pullbacks coming in. Here we go. Here's pullbacks coming in. Sellers come, pulls back, support resistance, bounces, comes down, new support equals resistance, bounces, goes down, new support equals resistance, that just goes straight up like a V formation. Okay, well, V formation happened. It's like, okay, the big boys are back. We need to prepare for our buys. So we need a test to show us it cannot make a lower low anymore so we can prepare for our buys. But at what point do we make our buys? How do we know at what area? So we're going to use that logic for precision. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for that last buyer. Let me just clean this up for you. In this pullback mode, I'm looking for that, last seller who was in the wrong direction. All these sellers made money. Sell, that worked. Sell, that one didn't work. Like somewhere in here, someone tried to make a pullback sell that failed on them because the market just jumped up really quickly. Okay, not visible here, but let's go in one time frame deeper to pull out that guy and see where could he be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle around that area so we know where to look for. This is 8:26, 27, something like that. I have it set up here for you guys. Let's go into the 1 hour, one time frame lower to see the precision of that. And voila, here we are. So now that we're here, I'm going to make it bigger for you guys so you guys can see. Okay, so there was one support resistance there. They made money, right? Pull back down, lower low happened. And then new support resistance happened, pull back down, lower low happened. They made money as well. And then here's the last sellers now. Here we go. Here we had a pullback there. Someone hit that sell over there that came down, didn't make a low, and jumped right against them, and they had a stop loss. So it's that little guy right there who tried to hit that sell. Okay, and if we contain him, we're looking for our precision areas where the markets can pull back to give you your entries. Okay, there's a lot more to precision trading, but right now this is the key element to spot where these areas are happening. Okay, these are the spots you want to monitor. So you're always looking for, well, did the guy make any money? The last buyer or the last seller. If you made money, then it's not there. The spot's not there. But if he didn't make money, and while he was trying to make money, it just wrong-footed him and it jumped on the other end, that's when we know, there's money stuck in there. Okay, there's money in there. Okay, so let's take a look at something else. Let me just scroll back, see if I can find a spot for you guys here. Do another example. Let's see if we can find one on to the sell side. Okay. All right. So here we are. Same concepts happen. Seller, 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 sellers, and then boom, things turn around for a V formation. Who's the last seller in this downward move? Down, pull back, support resistance, down, pull back, support resistance, no down. No down there. Okay, if I open this up on a lower time frame and extract that data out, so let's see this on this is the 8th of March 8th. Let me go into the 15-minute. Let's go into March 8. Okay, there we are. So, how are we going to find, once that sell happens, the new territory is seller's territory? We're looking for any kind of pullback where people will attempt sell. So like, okay, we got an attempt here to try to hit the sell, and it went boom, straight up. We got an attempt here, you see that tail? Boom, straight up. So in this zone, we're getting some kind of areas where people are attempting their sells. Okay? Unfortunately, this market is way too strong and doesn't reach this area to this precision level. It goes from a little bit higher. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, for you guys for this week, is just keep practicing these areas for the last buyers or last sellers, and ask yourself this one question: did he or she make money if they did that sell or did that buy? If the answer is no, and they got stuck in there, that's an area that's going to be used again. Okay, we'll go into the logic of why and everything next week, but I want you guys to keep spotting these areas. Once you spot these areas, I'm going to go into, I know you might have some questions by looking at it this week, like, wait a minute, Armo or Naveen, here's an area on this day, blah, blah, blah. How come it's not pulling into that area and it's pulling in and it's going from a much higher area and stuff like that? We'll get into all of that as we go into more and more weeks of the timing. So hold your questions for now. I just want you to observe this area and monitor how clean these precisions are. And I want you to start eyeing them really, really well by when you're looking at the chart, like, okay, there's an area there, there's an area there, there's an area there. These are all working in the extreme areas. Okay, the more the extreme, that means more people are jumping in. For example, here, look at this upward movement, right? The more high it goes, the more people jump in on a higher and higher level. And the higher the level where people are jumping in on the buys and they're getting wrong-footed on the wrong direction, that becomes your area for precision. Okay, so we want to be looking at these areas, spot them really well, and I'll see you guys next week, and we'll go into more details of how this stuff works. Cheers.